you know, geopolitical stuff about politics and what's going to happen in Georgia, et cetera, et cetera. So instead, he rushes in, sits down during a commercial. He had just become the mayor of Atlanta. And he and I engaged in one of the most interesting conversations that two guys would have, sitting in a park bench, watching their kids play ball. It wasn't geopolitical mumbo-jumbo. It wasn't the typical politics of the day. We talked about the thing that's most important to me and most important to just about every single one of you here. Kids. Our kids. What's going to happen after us? What about our legacy? What are we doing for them? How do you solve the problem of crime? How do you solve the problem about the fact that too many of our kids are getting too fat? Maybe because they're looking at their dads. But there are things. There are real things we can do other than create bigger prisons and hire more cops. There really are. I know that's the easy solution. Yeah, I'm going to get more police on the streets. Oh, I'm going to get another jail over here. There's actually things you can do to kids to help them before they become a problem. And if you get to it before it's a problem, it's cheaper, better, and the guy upstairs will probably thank you for it. And that's what we talked about. And when we spoke, we had talked about mutually having this plan, you know? Making things better for all of our kids. And I like that. And I like the fact, personally speaking here, that the guy who's in charge of Atlanta is willing to go down there and talk about things at that level and try and come up with ways to solve the problems that we look at and not look at the cheap and easy solutions. So I was impressed with that conversation. Some important things were said, and it's because of that, as a backdrop, that I'm proud to introduce the mayor of Atlanta, Kasim.
How y'all doing?
Good.
You know, it's so good to be here. You know, I would not be anywhere else today because I think this is so important and so vital, what LISTA is doing. But I hope you would give me one moment of privilege, and I know that we have a schedule to keep. But I want to tell you why I was delighted to go on Rick Sanchez's show when the invitation was extended to me. It wasn't just because I was a new mayor. It was because when I was a state senator, there was a young African-American man named Junarlo Wilson, who I believe was inappropriately imprisoned. And Rick Sanchez was one of the few journalists in the United States of America that took up that young man's cause when few would. And because of Rick Sanchez's work and members of the state legislature, Junarlo Wilson is now a matriculating junior at Morehouse College doing honors work. And now, I believe that that kind of work should be reciprocated. So when I see things like the kind of things that are happening in Arizona, it wants me to stand with the Latino community the same way that Rick Sanchez stood with an African-American boy.
Yeah. Woo!
I also said during the course of the campaign that I was going to embrace the Latino community and the Hispanic community in a powerful way. And I'm thrilled to tell you that in my first 100 days as mayor, I had the leadership from the Georgia Hispanic Chamber in my office where they had not been in more than 7 years. And that's why today, thank you. And that's why I'm here today, because I want you to know that Atlanta is your city. That we completely embrace you, value all of the contributions that you are making day in and day out. And I also enjoyed warm personal relationships with so many of the people in this room, like Patricia Janiak, like Carmen Cruz, who's over there, like Rafael Maldonado, and of course, his sweetheart, Monica. And like Carmen Cruz, who was with me when I was at 3%. So my relationship with you is real and it's genuine, and I look forward to it in the years to come. And I want LISTA to know that I appreciate the work that you're doing to really end the digital divide and to point and highlight how valuable the work that is being done in the technology space is. Because we have that challenge in minority communities throughout the United States of America. And the fact of the matter is if you are not in the technology space, and if you are not training people to be involved in that space, you are limiting yourself and your participation in the United States of America. And the hands that build America and the hands that do hard work in America have to be the hands that lead America as well and contribute to its greatness. So I come here today as a grateful mayor of the city of Atlanta, thanking LISTA for what you do to expand the color of success in the United States. Because when you make the progress in the technology arena that you are making right now, America is a little more perfect, a little more beautiful, and its magnificent tapestry has another more beautiful color added to it. That is the greatness of our city. It is the greatness of our state. It is the greatness of our nation. So I'm profoundly grateful to you, and congratulations to the honorees. Godspeed, everybody. All right.